Hey everyone, today is Thursday, the 1st of April, 2021. This is the Gab, episode 559. I'm Lawrie. Joab Gilroy is here, and it is April Fool's. Nearly got tricked there for a second, Joab.
Nearly got fucking boomed. How come when I go on Facebook, and I don't do that very much these days, but how come when I go on Facebook and I see, four chicks I went to high school with all clearly being conned by convincing looking literature about some fucking magical Hawaiian berry that they're selling, right? How come I'm not allowed to laugh at them, but on April Fools, you're allowed to laugh at anyone who gets fucking scrumped by a fucking convincing looking fucking headline? What's the deal there? How come I can't laugh at these people 364 days a year, but one day a year it's no holds barred? Also, you still can't laugh at those people because, like, they're not being April fooled; they're just being generally fooled.
Right.
Why can't I just laugh? Like, in the King's Court, the fool was the main comedian, the lead comedian, right? Fooling should be a merry occasion. I guess it's because when they're getting fooled, it's pretty depressing, and when other people are getting fooled, it's not that. Like when we got maybe nearly scrumped by this Halo Infinite being delayed thing, it was kind of funny.
For about 10 seconds there.
For about 10 seconds. As, like, literally in real time. I wish we'd found it. I wish we'd done our breaking news thing and we'd found it while we were doing the podcast, because it had literally gone.
Were you recording? Because I was recording at that stage. I think I was recording.
I might have been recording.
Maybe I've got it in there.
We literally went through, like, no, it's fake. No, I think it's real. No, I think it's April Fool's.
Yeah. That was in the span of about 10 seconds. Because you said it. You said Halo Infinite's been delayed. And I'm like, what? And then I saw like three posts on my screen.
What I said was, Halo Infinite's been delayed. Because I am a cunt. Yeah. Anyway.
So then I clicked on Twitter. And then I saw like 3 posts, and they were all from like Australian websites. And I clicked the first one, and the link to it was like an hour ago. And I was like, I haven't heard about this. Like I've been sitting around. Like, why is this not a thing? And then I clicked on the post and was like, oh, this is a fake account. It's literally got like 50 followers on it. Why did all these people just fall for it? Like, I get it. They fell for a joke, but at the same time, checking sources and things is not like it took like literally fucking 5 seconds for me to check that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, because that's it, right? It's a convincing looking fucking headline, a convincing looking account. Like, they've done some work to make it look vaguely convincing. The text that they used is on a legitimate looking backdrop and all that kind of stuff. They did enough work to pass at first glance, and that is enough for everyone except for journalists who should not have fallen for it. But like,
because they want to be first to get the news.
Exactly. That is the problem. The race has created a situation where, Anyway, it's going to be a short, good podcast. April Fools.
This is going to be longer. Hey, I want to talk about something. Speaking, nothing to do with April Fools, but Rian Johnson sold his Knives Out franchise, IP, series, I don't know what you want to call it, to Netflix for $450 million.
What?
Yeah, you haven't seen this yet, I assume.
No.
It's only about an hour ago.
What?
And they're filming in like 3 months the sequel, which will be following... I can't remember the character's name. Benoit, something.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's character. Obviously the detective from the first one, but and they basically get the rights to 2 and 3, so the 2 sequels that are following it.
Sure.
Who would you? Because they're going to start casting soon. Who would be your number one pick of an ensemble cast if you're sort of looking at what they did with the original Knives Out? Like, who would you be gunning for to be in this film? You don't have to list them all. Maybe just like one or two people. Like,
Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
Right, because he's playing Hercule Poirot. I think Death on the Nile is supposed to be out pretty soon. So that'd be. Do you like? What was that? There was that movie, right? There was that movie. You cannot watch it these days because it's got Mickey Rooney doing fucking yellow face. It is heinous. Not Breakfast at Tiffany's. He actually backed it up and did it again inexplicably. But yeah, there's that one. And it's got like, and basically they invite all of the greatest detectives. It's like a parody whodunit, where they invite all the greatest detectives. Do something like that and have Hercule Poirot. Who else is? Oh, you could get Benedict Cumberbatch in as Sherlock. But all like as those characters, but sort of different. Like, you know,
right,
Shemlock or something, and like just legally distinct from those characters, and have them all in the same room, and then have Benoit doing his thing. I remember back when they were like when Knives Out came out, Daniel Craig said he wanted to do a different accent for every movie, which I would very much like to see.
I mean, he could be pretending to be somebody else, right?
Yeah, and yeah, do that. Do like all great detectives. I think that'd be fun.
What about Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock?
as another Sherlock? Oh my god! Just have loads of Sherlocks. Just have a shitload of Sherlocks in there. Like, who else has been Sherlock? What's his face from Hackers?
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah. Have him in there.
Henry Cavill? Wasn't he Sherlock Holmes?
Fuck yes, that's 4 Sherlocks. We got 4 Sherlocks for this.
I was actually going to suggest Henry Cavill in the film. So this is a good like little segue. Because I was thinking like Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, I think it'd be a good one, or like like Tom Hanks, or like someone sort of unexpected. I don't know. Just go nuts. Like, if they're going to spend $450 on this thing, do it. Just go stupid.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'd very much like to see it. Knives Out too. I'm glad it's coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
I really like the first one. That was fantastic. I've watched it a couple of times since as well. I just like whodunits in general. I've watched loads of them over and over again. There's some really fucking good ones out there. Sleuth. I don't know if you've seen that one. With Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine. I think it's called Sleuth. They did another one that was very like it. Those two were both in another movie that was very similar.
Jude Law was in that. Playing
in what, Sleuth?
Watson.
No, that's the fucking that's Sherlock, right?
No, Jude Law is in Sleuth.
Oh, that's the remake of Sleuth.
Oh wait,
no, there was a.
Did you say Michael Caine was in it?
Yeah, Michael Caine
was in the remake and the original.
Was he in the remake as well? Yeah,
he was in the 2007 film.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he played the older character. He played the Laurence Olivier character, in the remake, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It says here he played the character in the 1972 film. Okay,
there we go. Yeah. That Clue. You seen Clue movie? Have you seen the Clue movie?
Yeah, watched it. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I feel like I was in Sydney when we watched it. But we watched it on. Actually, it might have been here on Amazon because it had a bunch of different endings.
Yeah, it had all the endings. That's the only. Yeah. That's the main thing. It's got to have all the endings, but. That actually fucking really holds up because it's got like some of the best fucking actors ever. I mean, obviously, that's not shit talking Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier. The Sleuth film and the other one, whatever the fuck it's called. Those I honestly think those hold up, except for the Laurence Olivier's character collects automata, which are like fucking ancient robots basically, and it's super fucking weird, and gives everything this really creepy vibe that I think at the time was supposed to not be ultra creepy, but in today's world, these things are just fucking weird. But yeah, like Clue's got fucking Tim Curry. That's all I remember. Excellent. Great list. To be honest,
Christopher Lloyd.
Considering Christopher Lloyd, the way this podcast goes, right? The fact that I've named Michael Caine, Laurence Olivier, and Tim Curry all in films that are actually in is me
before 9:30 in the morning.
Well, just on this podcast at all. Normally we sit here and we spend 20 minutes trying to remember one person in one film that we watched yesterday. We'd be like, oh yeah, the guy from Godzilla vs. King Kong. He's a lizard. He breathes fire. Godzilla. That's it. Yeah, Godzilla.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, excellent. Knives Out. Fantastic. Yeah, watch some fucking people at home. Watch whodunit movies. They're fucking amazing. Cool. What else we got?
Let's talk about some games. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, let's go.
No. Fire it up. Let's kick things off with Dead by Daylight. Let's go with that.
All right.
A game we talk about a lot on here, asymmetrical multiplayer horror game. It's 4 survivors versus a killer. Survivors are completing generators on the map in order to escape, while the killer is trying to stop them from doing that. It's a very good game. Both you and I have talked about it at length. This week, they released a brand new major update, adding a new killer and a new survivor to the game.
And it's broken everything.
It hasn't, actually. This is...
what?
For once, everything has seemed to have... it's working. It looks like they got this one out pretty early in the test build, and they were sort of making a bunch of... there's a bunch of changes in this build that were introduced after the test build. In saying that, so the new character is called the Trickster, the new killer.
Yep.
He has his power is basically able to throw. He throw these knives out. Knives out. Okay. Again, he's got knives on him, like 60 knives or blades, and he uses them to throw at survivors. And once a survivor has taken a certain amount of damage from these knives, they've got like a little a meter that fills up, and it's usually about 6 or 7 knives that they'll be able to take. That'll then send them into the injured state, and then once again the killer has to try and get them back into a dying state by either throwing 6 more knives or throwing a mouse 1 attack, like a normal attack.
Okay.
And so he's got, by default, he's got about 60 of these knives, and he refills them by going into a locker and picking them up, much like the Huntress. And so he's, I think he's supposed to be sort of played at a bit of a distance. Like, they're not super accurate. They're definitely in an area, but there's sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to hit people with. It takes a bit of time for you to switch between your main weapon and your knives. It's like a bit of an animation to kick it in, and that's basically his power. Once he actually gets a lot of knives into people, he's got this power up ability where he can trigger it, and he will throw out a flurry of knives really quickly for about 10 seconds or so, and that uses none of the knives in his ammo or his inventory. And that's sort of like his special ability that he's got. It's called Showstopper. And his 3 perks that he has, one of them is pretty good. Oh, wait, they're all pretty interesting perks, actually. One of them's called Starstruck, and it means that whenever you pick up a dying survivor from the ground, anybody that is in his terror radius gets exposed, which lasts for about 30 seconds, depending on which tier perk you've got. But it lasts for about 30 seconds. And that means that anybody that comes in contact with the killer and is attacked by them will go down in one hit. And so that's the sort of, I guess, stop people from, like, you want them to leave. As soon as this perk sort of activates, you basically need to leave the area. You need to run away, try and hide, and get out of there. It also has like a repeating effect. I've not played around with it too much, but like if you're sort of staying in the terror radius, I think it sort of like resets, or if you're like going in and out all the time, it just resets itself. So there's little like weird quirky things that this perk sort of, how it behaves and that sort of stuff. So Starstruck is pretty interesting. It's kind of cool. There's another one which is called Crowd Control, and that is a hex. It's basically like Bamboozle from the Clown, which means that when you vault a window, when a survivor vaults a window, it blocks off that window for about 14, 15 seconds, and they can't use that window again. And Bamboozle normally works on the Clown by you step through the window as a killer, it'll block off that window. And then the killer can't go through it. And it's usually, I think that one is not as long. I think that one is 10 seconds off the top of my head. But that is an actual ability. This crowd control is a hex. So it's something in the environment that survivors can go and eliminate from the game. So it is a little bit like, yes, it is powerful, but at the same time, you can get rid of it. And that's something you got to worry about. The third perk is called No Way Out. Basically, every time you hook a survivor, it gives you a token and then blocks the exit gates from opening once all the generators have been completed for, it's about 8 seconds per token. So you can get up to, I think it's like 40 seconds, because it's also got an initial blocking on it. So if you don't hook anybody, it's like 10 seconds. So it can be quite a while before those exit gates can be interacted with. I've seen some interesting pairings with this by pairing it with like Freddy's ability, which makes people open the gate even slower. So you can like pair it with that, and it just takes like fucking a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get a door open. So anyway, they're the three perks for the Trickster, which are, I think they're pretty interesting. They don't work very well on him purely because he's trash. He's not a good killer. I said this when I was watching streams a couple weeks back or a month and a half back when they were testing him, saying that like he just doesn't seem very good. His ability is not great. Like his issue is that he needs to have line of sight of people and throw knives into the back of them. And if you're a survivor that kind of knows what they're doing, then all you need to do is get in front of an object or like loop something, because he's slow. He's a slow killer. He's got no maneuverability. He's one of the slowest in the game. He's got the slowest movement speed in the game. And so you can just loop the guy and you can't do anything about it. Like, it's such a struggle. And he's got no map control, because his whole, like, he's not like another killer that is able to get from one place to another really quickly, and he's able to keep control of these generators. And so his ability is very much at this stage being up close in front of people. You've got to be right behind them, because he's so slow. It takes a while to catch up to them. And so they've got this issue at the moment where he's just not very good. He like, it's not worth playing him over some of the other killers in the game that have not similar abilities, but like a Huntress who is able to throw things. Like, if you want a killer who can throw shit, there's no reason why you would pick this character at all, because it's not worth it. It's worth it to unlock him, get his perks, and then you can use them on another character. But using them on him is just not really interesting at all. I think there's some interesting ideas out there that you could kind of do to fix this. At the moment, when you throw a knife into somebody, they've got this meter that fills up, and once they've got that bar filled, that's when they go into the next state. So whether they're healthy going to injured or injured going to dying. That meter also slowly decreases as you stop throwing knives at them. And maybe it needs to be more like a persistent thing where it doesn't decrease unless you're not being chased, and also maybe you've got to like remove them or heal yourself. So some of the other survivors, some of the other killers in the game have an ability where, like Legion, if he stabs you, his whole thing is basically attacking people really quickly and then leaving and going for another person, because there's like a bleed out timer and they need to heal themselves, and that takes a lot of time. So his thing is to make people scurry away and try and attack them really quickly, then let them run away and do as much damage as possible. And so something like that could be interesting, whereas you're forcing a survivor to heal over time. Like they need to heal themselves once they've got these knives in them. Like they actually need to physically remove them or something like that. I think would slow survivors down a little bit. Another thing I was thinking of was
do it like not even a full heal or a heal movement, but like a small bar where each time they do it, they get a skill check and they remove one of the knives. Yeah. But otherwise it stays forever. Like it remains, and that would give a killer, like, because it feels like the only option for this guy would be to tunnel, right? Like, because otherwise you are wasting your fucking time.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense. And also, like, yeah, he's got to hit. It's a high level of mechanical skill to hit his actual long range attacks, but the payoff doesn't last unless you tunnel. So yeah, there's nothing about him that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems like he's garnered a lot of interest in the fan community, like lots of art about him and that sort of thing. Like he's absolutely, I saw his announcement on like websites everywhere. Like it was ridiculous. So they've obviously done something right in terms of his look, and like they've nailed that completely. But it just feels like they didn't spend too much time working on his abilities and the way he behaves. Like they've
also like completely divorced. His look and his name and all of that feels completely divorced from
what he does. Trickster doesn't make any sense to me.
No, how is he a trickster?
Especially if you read his bio.
Well,
like, I think
April Fools, you got a fucking
fire.
knife in your back, you fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
You fell for the classic prank, you fucking moron, by getting thrown knives at you, you fucking idiot. You stupid piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I was kind of thinking, I don't want to sit here and play game designer, but something like either make him quicker, like he either needs to be buffed in movement speed, or one thing I thought is like every time he gets a knife into somebody, maybe it slows them down. Like each notch will slow them down like 1% or or 0.5%. I haven't done the calculations, but like if you get 6 knives in you, then that slows you down or 5 knives in you, that slows you down for 5%. Maybe it needs to be 2% per knife.
Too much.
Yeah, but he just needs something in there in order to make him more viable, because at the moment he's like, they tried to buff him in this update because he was weak in the test build, and he's still extremely weak now. So I think they'll get there. They've done it in the past with other killers. Like Freddy was pretty crap at one stage, and now he's one of the high tier killers. So yeah, I'm sure they'll get there. It's just they've got to play around with it in interesting ways and trying to figure out how you go about doing that. And there could be some interesting ideas that you could sort of play with to make him a bit better. So yeah, that is the Trickster. The other character I have not played because I don't really play Survivor too much. Yunjin Lee is the Survivor introduced into this game. She has 3 perks. One is called Fast Track, and that means that whenever another Survivor is hooked, you get a token. Each each token gives you. It looks like every time you get a skill check on a generator, it gives you more progression from what I'm gathering here, which could be interesting to sort of play around with. I don't think it's very good just reading it right now because I didn't actually know what she did. You consume all of your tokens during a skill check. So depending on how many tokens you've got, it's stackable up to 1%. All right, so I still don't think that's very good. Anyway, it's called Fast Track. The other one, which I think will get a lot of use, is called Smash Hit. Every time she stuns a killer with a pallet, she breaks in a sprint burst for 150%, 4 seconds, and gets exhausted. So it's another exhausted perk, much like Lithe, where you can jump through a window and vault it, get really quickly, or some of the other sort of dropping from a high position on the map and landing and then getting a sprint burst. You can do that, which I think that might get some use, absolutely. Self-preservation is the third perk. This allows you your scratch marks hidden for 10 seconds when another survivor is hit by an attack. So if they're trying to take a protection hit, I guess that means that your scratch mark's hidden for 10 seconds. You don't make any pain and you don't leave any pools of blood. So yeah, that's actually pretty good, that one, I think. That's a good perk to run with some of the ones where you want to go in for rescues and that sort of stuff. So that sounds pretty cool. Anyway, I haven't tried her yet, but yeah, that's Dead by Daylight. I think it's definitely a much better, like nothing seems to be majorly broken on this patch, which is good. I just think the killer is very extremely weak. Like I played a game. When did it come out? Yesterday or the day before? I played a game where it's like my 6th or 7th game, and 3 people got out. I played like usually three people get out. I'm having a fucking terrible game. And I was just like, all right, fair enough. And the guys at the end were like, GG, that was like, you're the best trickster we've come across today, even though he's completely shit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know he's shit. Thanks.
Yeah, Christ.
Yeah, he's just not very good at the moment, but I'm sure they'll get there and they'll figure that out. So yeah, that is Dead by Daylight, new update coming out now. What else we got here? Home Sweet Home Survive.
While we're on the 4v1 asymmetrical horror game vibe,
yeah,
Home Sweet Home Survive released into early access this week, and I decided to give it a look.
Yeah.
I do not like it. It is a 4v1 horror game in the same vein as Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight. I mentioned Friday the 13th because I believe that game was shit as well. Yeah, I guess like I was dragged in by the interesting premise. It's like based around Thai horror.
Yeah.
Like the horror of Thailand. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I like that as a general theme. Like I'd like to see more of that sort of thing. So I'll give it a squiz. And so yeah, jumped in. It's early access, so they might still be able to pull it all together. But in its current form, it just runs like fucking garbage. Like straight off there's no part of this experience that I felt was ready for public consumption. The tutorial, like when you get in, it's like you should play the tutorial for the killer, and so you do, and like straight off the bat, you're playing as a character that isn't available in the game.
Right.
So you're the big hulking menace, and you've got an ability that the one what are they called, like spirit or whatever. There's like Spectre. The one Spectre that is available doesn't have the same ability, so you don't learn shit about what you do as the Spectre that you are able to play as. But better still, while you're there, it tells you to press shift to enter invisible mode. And invisible mode is sort of this hunting mode that you can use to sort of like get in close to survivors and do like, you know, killer things, Spectre things. And you press shift, and it's on a long cooldown. It's like a fucking 90-second cooldown. When it told me to do it, I must have been, I guess, well ahead of the pace of the tutorial, because I still had 45 seconds to wait for this cooldown. It didn't reset the cooldown on the fucking ability. I just had to wait 45 seconds in the middle of this fucking tutorial for it to finish. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's not great, but fine. It's in third person the entire time. Like, both roles are in third person. I think the perspective shift is one of the most interesting things that Dead by Daylight does, and it's a genius way to restrict information to the killer and give the survivors a bit of a chance to get away with shit. That is not at all the case here. You have the exact same amount of information as survivors, it would appear, having played both roles. The only time you've got more is when a survivor is doing like actual interactions with the game world. Like, as a survivor, you've got to, instead of doing generators, you've got to it actually never explained what you're supposed to do these shrine things, but it appears that what you do is you burn some incense at the shrine, and then you need a nail, and then you stab the shrine with a nail, and that gets rid of the thing. And both of these take a fair chunk of time. And to get the resources you require, you run around to these boxes in the game world and open them up. And when you're looking in the box or interacting with the shrine, you are locked in and unable to look around. And so you can only really, you know, rely on either your teammates or the sound, and that is general. And you do get, there's like I think it's a musical sting. It's not like a heartbeat. It's more like theme music that the Spectre is nearby to indicate that, you know, I believe what happens, and again, it never explained any of this. It only has a tutorial for the Spectre. It doesn't have a tutorial for the survivor, and the survivor gets like 3 tooltips on a fucking loading screen that don't really tell you nearly enough. But I believe once you get 3 shrines down, you're then able to kill the Spectre or banish the Spectre. And you're also able to open the exit portal. And you can either open the exit portal or kill the Spectre. Either way is fine. Either way is a valid path to victory. But it doesn't fucking matter, because the Spectre is way too fucking powerful, in my opinion. It feels like there's a direct imbalance in the direction of the survivors, because they're able to stunlock the fuck out of the survivor, out of the Spectre. They're able to stunlock the shit out of you. One of the dudes actually has an ability where if he doesn't pick up any items for a certain amount of time, he just gets a fucking sword that immediately does damage and stun. That's one of those random things you have to find in fucking boxes. You have to like pray you'll find a fucking sword. No, this dude just gets one and he just fucking run up and wallop. I believe he can't do damage until the 3rd fucking shrine is down, but he can stun at any fucking time.
Right.
Survivors attack. They've got, as far as I can tell, either 0 cooldown or no, or very little cooldown on their attack. I didn't get a chance to actually attack as a survivor because I was the one doing the fucking shrines and shit when I was playing survivor. I was attempting to complete the only objectives while my fucking dipshit teammates were running around with fucking stuff trying to kill a killer that they'd never be able to fucking damage because we hadn't done any fucking shrines. Anyway, didn't go well. When I played as a killer, the teams that I was up against were highly coordinated, which made things more difficult, but I still managed to fucking wallop them. Because despite the fact that, if they coordinate correctly, they can do a fuck ton of damage using stun lock techniques, right? They can just have one dude stun the shit out of you. They've got like a stamina thing. That's when they have to stop stunning you. But they can do a fuck ton of damage in that period, provided they coordinate their attacks. One dude runs up and does the stun with his stun thing that doesn't do a lot of damage, but does stun. And the other one does fucking attacks with a weapon that does a lot of damage. And you're stunned standing there doing nothing. And you just got to wait. And so you learn, you've got an ability that allows you to take no damage at all. And so you got to wait for that shit. As the Spectre, you basically need to learn how to, like, you're not this menace. You're it's almost like you're like these fucking kids have run into your fucking house and they're trying to like kick you out. Like, you're almost actually the one being hunted the entire time. Like, you are running around slashing them. The Spectre that you get to play as, I think they've released a new one since I played, but the Spectre you get to play as runs around with a fucking box cutter and slashes. And if she slashes and she misses, the stun cooldown it's like fucking a little bit longer than on Dead by Daylight type shit. Like, fucking huge cooldown on that shit. She hits, she can do it again. But the problem is the arc, the damage arc on this shit is quite narrow. And you're playing at like 160 ping. I think it's dedicated servers. And you're playing at 160 ping. And so you'll attack, and even though it looked like you hit, you didn't, and they'll just run around, or they'll turn back and stun lock you for a bit. And you just fucking have to wear it. But then once you do hit, and you can get another hit on, you just fucking, you do them in seconds. The problem, there's another problem in that, like, you can't tell how much damage you've done. It's not, it appears to have damage that is done in increments as small as fucking 1%, which is ridiculous, right? It should be at max three states of healthiness, like, or four states. Fine, undamaged, undamaged, a little bit damaged, very damaged, and then fucking dead, right? Like, that's the most that I want to see out of these games. I do not want to see, oh, I've got 37% health left, better drink this thing. Like, how did I get to 37? Why didn't I go to 36? How, like, especially when you can go to 30, when I've seen it go down to 34 or some shit, right? And you're like, why did I not get 3% damage? How the fuck are you supposed to manage that shit as a killer, right? When you're like looking at who you're fucking targeting, you like, okay, well, that dude's taking no damage. This person's healed up. I'm going to fucking make sure that I get them down again, that kind of thing. Or, you know, like, trying to assess your targets when you're like, well, they might be undamaged, or they might be just on the cusp of undamaged. And I've got no idea how to tell. I did that, like, I heard that dude, and either he's healed up, or I never heard him enough to take him down into a damaged state. Like, it's ludicrous. When you kill them, you have the opportunity to execute them, which gives you back all your health, which I find to be extremely odd. Because it's like, it's basically a quick time event where, like, you basically just have to hit E in the 3 or 4 frames after you've killed them, which is a problem until you know you've only got 3 or 4 frames, because you know you're going to fucking kill someone, right? So why even bother? Why bother having that? Like, just allow me to fucking execute them whenever the fuck I want. Like, there's no difference. I missed the E that time, so I didn't get the health back. It's not a skill check. It's literally just a, was I momentarily distracted type thing? And like, there's nothing in the game that's going to distract you from getting your health back if you know you need to do it. So, like, it doesn't really add anything to the game. So I don't know why that's a 4-frame skill check. It doesn't fucking make any sense to me. And yeah, you just wind up in this situation where you're just able to fucking wallop all of it. Like I said, I played against 2 teams as a killer. I played against 2 teams who appear to be very highly coordinated, and like they were legit. I played killer, played survivor, went back and played killer again, and I could see what they were doing. I could tell what they were doing then, and like they were esportsing it up. Like these guys,
Yeah.
they had some fucking plans. They would run in. One dude literally would stun me, and the other one would wallop me. Or they would run in and stun me while the other ones were doing shrines, and like lure. And you can loop for a while. The only downside is you got this stamina thing, and so they had they would leave energy drinks for the person doing the stunning because I would chase after him to do some fucking damage, and then one of them would like trade off the way that they do in fucking DVD, right? You trade off, and I would trade off because I don't want to fucking tunnel a cunt, right? But then I would see the person who had hit me chugging a drink. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I get it now, right? That's what they're doing. They are literally trading off, stamming it up, stun locking me until I can't do anything anymore, and then and doing the shrines while they were doing that shit. And then once they'd done 3 shrines, they all fucking got weapons and came after me. And the only reason I lived is because I both times I was killer. The map layout is such that I don't know. The map I was playing on as killer both times was this swamp one. There just doesn't seem to be enough shrine opportunities. And on the second one, once I realized they were fucking optic phasing me, I realized all I needed to do was make sure that I had like shrines close enough together that I would be able to block them because they can't open the exit until they get all the shrines. So the only choice is to fucking kill me. And so I damaged them and bugged the fuck out and make sure they couldn't do any shrines. And the reason I wound up, well, first of all, I never won. I never successfully killed everyone. So I don't know if that's a win or a loss. All it says is time up on the screen in giant letters. I did have like double the points of all of them at all times, but I don't think that's a very fair metric because it's like 1v4. So yeah, I don't know if that metric works, but like yeah, time up. But I got 3 kills and 3 kills, and all I needed was the last person to die. I just had to basically catch them, and all they do is stun and then run, stun and run, stun and run, and yeah, you can loop a lot. Once you're out of stamina, you're pretty fucked. But I just ran out of time. Like all I had to do was push them away from those last 2 shrines, and then kill them when they went for them. Like because they are locked in. Like I was saying, the vision is locked in. So either they had to stand there on guard, in which case I would just run up and disrupt them anyway. Like they stun for a bit while the other one did the shrine, and then I didn't give a fuck, and I would just slash the person doing it. Like I'd pop my invincibility thing and then slash the person doing the fucking shrine, and then I'd run away. Like that's all I needed to do. That's literally it, and it worked over and over and over again because the game is woefully balanced. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Looks pretty ugly. Doesn't play well. Wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
Anyway, it's mostly positive on Steam, which is surprising to me because
I saw videos of this on, I think it was Twitch or something. I was watching one game. It came across to me like a mobile game or something like that, to be fair. Anyway, I think there's other more interesting ideas that have sort of been done before, and they still haven't really like I think those games are done at this stage. Like last year, that was a game. I'm not sure if you ever played that one, but that was a game that was released on the Discord game store, where you played a bunch of like high school kids, and you needed to escape. Sort of like it was like a Left 4 Dead sort of scenario. There was like different types of objectives you needed to accomplish while a killers were on the loose, because I think you could sort of switch between. I think it was three of them, but like last year at least had that appeal of like it looked cool. Like it had a cool art style to it. Had some interesting ideas with like being able to set traps, and like the environment was a bit more dynamic. It would sort of shift every time, or it would like change every time you got into the map. Like certain holes would be blocked off that you couldn't get through, and things like that. So and that game is not done well at all. So I think at this stage it's kind of like there's only a couple of handful of games that really are commanding that market. I think Dead by Daylight is the top one at this point. There's other stuff out there. There's like Deceit. Deceit, is that the game? Yeah, that we've talked about on here before, and that's a free to play game. That'd be a game I'd love to jump back into at some stage, because I know they update that a lot. I always see it pop up on my list, being like, "Hey, major update has gone through." But again, that's a different sort of. Yeah, that's like a take on the horror genre with Among Us, like trying to trick people into believing that you're a good person, but in a much more horror environment. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a bunch of these games try and come out in the past. There was another game we played recently as well that I can't even remember, but I think Nate got us into, where you were like kids with a phone, and you would like, it was like invisible people, like invisible monsters or invisible ghosts or something.
That was pretty weird.
Yeah, that was a bit. But I think that was a campaign or something, a single player game as well.
Yep.
So anyway, I think it's an untapped genre. I think there's some cool stuff. I'd be interested to see. Like for me, I'm always wondering like what is the next phase of a game like Dead by Daylight. Like if you went and made a sequel to that, and I think they're in this weird situation where it has turned into a games as a service type game, where they've got all these different killers in there that they've introduced to the game, and survivors, and that seems to be working for them. They're like one of the most popular games on Steam. But they're also sort of hamstrung by having to put out content every 3 months. And also, like, how do you go about adding more gameplay elements to it? Because they did that sort of stuff with adding in hexes, and that sort of makes, something else to do in the world. But like, they haven't really done much else in terms of that since the first year of release. It's been pretty much just slapping out new updates, content for killers and survivors, and going after licensed IPs and that sort of stuff. So I don't know, man. Like, how do you evolve that genre without making major gameplay changes? Is kind of a tricky situation that a lot of these games get into. Even like Rainbow Six or something like that, right? Where it's kind of been the same game since it launched. Anyway.
Well, you can't divorce yourself from what you are,
unless you're Fortnite.
Drive away the people. But even then, right? Like, it's still the core Fortnite experience, right?
Sure, but I mean, like in Fortnite, they've added just all this insane stuff that is around it. It's like ever changing the game, like respawn beacons and crafting items and weird like gameplay elements, whereas like a game like Dead by Daylight really hasn't changed its core gameplay loop. It's pretty similar to where it was when it first sort of started. And like, how long can that sort of persist before people get tired of it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling at this stage. Home Sweet Home sounds, I did see it going around, but from what I saw watching it, it just did not appeal to me at this point. It just doesn't seem like it's quite there yet. So I guess you keep an eye on it. Did you buy this? It was like $6 or something, right? It's pretty cheap.
It was like, yeah, $10, but
okay.
I did buy it, yes.
Yep. All right, let's keep moving on then. Talk about Hell Let Loose for a bit.
Sure. There was a free weekend on over the weekend.
Okay.
And so a bunch of we had like a full fucking crew going.
Mm-hmm.
Full squad, all 6 of us sitting in the Discord all at the same time. And yeah, just a couple of extra people who jumped in for the free weekend to check it out. Had a lot of fun. It was fantastic. We had some fucking bananas games where we just did the unthinkable, like just got away with shit that you just shouldn't. And I feel like we've gotten to a point now where we've got enough coordination and we understand the game enough that, like, I know one of my complaints was like, I don't know if I voiced this complaint on the podcast or not, but one of my complaints was just to clarify, Hell Let Loose is a World War II, I guess, squad-based tactical shooter on a large scale. 6-player squads, huge maps, and generally sort of Battlefield style, or like I would actually, if I were to compare it, right, I would say it's more like large scale enemy territory than necessarily a Battlefield game, because it follows that same enemy territory. Remember, enemy territory had that fucking like point to point, you couldn't like full back cap type thing going on. Wolfenstein enemy territory I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more like that than it is Battlefield, because you can't, like, it's not Conquest in that you can just go fucking anywhere you want. You do have to go, like, if there's A through E, to cap C, you have to have B and D, and you can't go and cap A or E, right? If you just cap C, you can't just go cap A, that sort of thing, right? And if you want to cap D and the other team has C, then you have to cap C first. But we got to a point as a squad, right? It used to be that as squad lead, I was having a lot of problem with the amount of superfluous comms going on in the squad lead chat, because it is annoying. And I do think they use this voice protocol that I'm just not a fan of. And apparently it fucks up with my mic quite a bit. I've heard it fuck up with other people's mics quite a bit, and they're just incomprehensible. When we were playing the other day, Nate was squad lead, and he was literally just saying def. He was saying def whenever he thought we were talking, and he couldn't hear because the other squad leads wouldn't shut the fuck up. He'd just say def. And it just meant that he wasn't able to, like, he wasn't getting information. What I found is that you can actually mute other squad leads. And so if they won't shut the fuck up about how their fucking weekend's going, or, you know, what they think the fucking Crows are going to do this season or some shit, and whatever fucking bullshit I don't give a fuck about, right? You just press tab and there's a squiggly line. If you press that, you can't hear them anymore. It's phenomenal. It's the greatest. I love it to bits. And yeah, it's revolutionary for how the game plays. The other thing is, yeah, I think when we were a bit newer to the game, I felt like we had to do whatever the commander said. And I felt a lot of, I don't know, pressure to make sure that we were doing whatever the command said. Because I wanted, like, it's an objective based game where, like, and I'm just naturally predisposed to play the objective, and the commander tends to have an idea of what the objective at that point would be. But over the weekend when we were playing, we were on, I think, Foy, and we were copping a bit of shit for being out of position. Because we were about, I don't know, 4 grid marks off the main objective, not defending, not currently attacking, and copping shit. Like the other squad leads are like, Dog Squad, what are you doing in J6? Why would you even be there? And Commander's like, actually, yeah, that's a real good question. Why are you there, Dog Squad? And like I explained one time, I'm like, yeah, we're clearing out Gary's, obviously, and we're engaged in a firefight, so we're dealing with enemy soldiers. Like, there's this. Yeah, what I realized, I think, is that on some level, right, the other people playing, even if they've got like 100 fucking in-game levels on us, and clearly that means probably at least 50 more fucking in-game hours, at least, possibly more. It doesn't mean that they've got any fucking idea of how to fucking play, right? They don't, because a lot of people don't play games the way we do, right? They don't see games the way we do. Like,
they're throwing bodies in an objective.
Yeah, they're in the meat grinder. They're playing fucking Metro in Battlefield or some shit, or Operation Locker or some shit, and they're just running down that same hallway over and over again into the hamburger, and that's it. That's the game. And if you're not there throwing fucking bodies into the hallway as well, then you're not helping. But they don't understand that, like, if you like, well, I guess they understand that what they think is happening is the other team is thinking exactly like them. What is actually happening is the other team has squads on it that are thinking like we are, deliberately getting as far away from the fucking objective as possible and looping in.
Yeah. And trying to come on the sides or find not objectives, but resource nodes or do something. Yeah.
And dismantle and disrupt the flow of the other team. And so either we are actively doing that ourselves, or we are countering the ability for the enemy team to do that. And that is literally what wins our team. Like, our team will win games, or we will last a lot longer than we should. Like, we were playing, what was that map with the train yard in it? That we were playing the other day, before I rage quit from
Artie. The swamp one?
No, not the swamp one. The swamp one's the. No, that's not the train level. That was
I can't remember.
Road to Carrington or whatever. I think train one is Carrington, right? And so I squad lead in that one, and the chatter in the squad lead chat was just awful, because all they were doing was complaining about how imbalanced the teams were, how our team had nobody over like level 80 or some shit, and the other team had nothing but a bunch of like level 100 clanners. Like half the other team were all in the same clan.
Yeah.
So they had all this coordination and shit, and they were all like working as a full fucking team. Like, we were working as a team, as a 6-person, actually 5-person squad of that one, because we had one rando. Yeah, we were working as a pretty good unit as 6 people, but they were working as a full fucking side. Like, literally half of them were all in the same fucking clan. And yeah, they're complaining nonstop. We literally, as a squad, managed to get in on the fucking point. We dismantled, like, I don't know, 6 outposts and a Gary on the point just before our teammates failed to, or we managed to get onto C, and then our teammates managed to lose B, despite all of them being at B. The meat grinder failed. And then we went back, and we were capping on B as 5 fucking people We got rid of more outposts. Another Gary capping as 5 fucking people. When like the rest of our team was still attempting to throw themselves through the meat grinder. And at the end of the game, the commander was like, oh yeah, well, that would have been over a lot fucking quicker if we didn't have fucking Dog Squad. And he's 100% right. Like, yeah, if we hadn't been there, like, we're the only reason that whole team of people who played it for fucking hundreds of hours didn't put the full force and might of their attention onto the ACAP. Yeah, like, we just have a different fucking perspective on how to play that game, and it fucking works so well. And the only time it doesn't work is when we're being exploited by Artie out of fucking nowhere. And honestly, they should get rid of Artie. I looked it up to see if people are having a problem with it. And do you know the reason why people want Artie to stay in the game? It's the fastest way for them to level up classes they don't use much.
Right.
People who love Artie love it as a way. They'll be like, oh, I got 78 kills. Yeah, got 78 kills, 1 death. Look at my Artie score. Managed to get 4 levels or some shit in NG, which I never play. And like, all right, great, fantastic. Like, it was probably actually really useful for their team. But as a gameplay experience, being exploded out of nowhere fucking sucks. It is awful.
You spawn.
Like, as you spawn is just awful, and I don't understand why it's in the game. Like, I understand why it's in the game from a realism perspective, but it shouldn't. It's
it needs to be more. Like, there needs to be more, not consequence, but like resources for using it or something.
It does actually cost a significant amount of resources.
Needs to cost more.
Which further well, the problem is, right, when one team is half full of clanners, all doing the same shit, all doing the right shit. They're all building nodes right at the front line. They dismantle the nodes and build them further up. And the other team has a bunch of random dickwads, half of whom are, according to the squad lead chat, apparently like a bunch of engineers just built nodes in the straight away when they spawned in at the start of the game. They just built nodes because they get XP, they get NG XP for building nodes, and then they don't dismantle them, and then those nodes earn nothing, but they too take up a node slot, and you can't build a node until you dismantle those other nodes. And so when the clan team is doing like they're fucking leapfrogging these nodes all the way up the fucking map, they've always got the resources they need because they're playing like a fucking well-oiled unit. And the clan full of randoms that we're on, the team full of randoms that we're on, have people who are just trying to eke out a little NG XP and then switching off to fucking machine gunner and sitting in one spot the entire game and fucking shooting. Like, there's no fucking way you can balance for that. There's absolutely no way you can fucking balance for that. But at the very least, right, at that, and when that happens, the Artie turns into like a resource dump and a way for them to actually use some of the resources, because otherwise all they're doing is waiting for the bombs to be on cooldown, right? They had a bombing run on cooldown every single time it was available. And the squad leader chat is like, when do we get some fucking bombs? How come we keep getting? And the commander's like, because we've got no fucking resources. Like, what? I can't spend any of this shit. I've got nothing to spend. They had it on fucking timer every fucking time. And we had a fucking kick in the dick every fucking time. Like, it's just like further imbalances the game to the point where, it's never going to work. It's never going to work the way they want it. I cannot imagine a fucking function for Artie where it does what they want it to do. And that's, out of control to me. Like, just fucking get rid of it. Like, remove it. Make it so that it is like a bombing run. Do like a PUBG style red zone that the commander controls or some shit, and it lasts for 30 seconds, and it is hell for 30 seconds, and then it goes back to not being on or some shit. Yeah. Because otherwise, holy fuck. What a nightmare. It's just shitty.
And it seems like the AoE on it is quite big. Like, I was getting killed inside of buildings where it was blowing up outside, quite, not near me, but I was still getting destroyed by it. So maybe they just turn that down anyway. Cool. Yeah. Anything else to add about it?
Nah, still loving it. Outside of Artie, I wish they get rid of it, but still having so much fucking fun with it. Yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job. We'll continue to play it. I know Jai picked it up off the back of the free weekend, so we've got at least one more person for the squad, which is good. Yeah. And fucking, what was that map? What is the swamp map? Just fucking delete it. Just delete it. Just delete that fucking map from existence. There is absolutely no way a game where you cannot swim and will drown should have rivers consistently running through it on maps. It is idiotic. Like, if you can't crawl along a field without drowning to death, who does that benefit? Who is that for? Right? Like, yeah, there are a couple of things in this game that are holding it back from being fucking big time. Like, it would be huge if it didn't have like a handful of things that are just like, how the fuck is this in the game? Rivers in a game where you can't swim and will drown inside of 6 seconds. Huge one. Yeah. The idea that you need to take a tutorial, watch a fucking 5-minute video on fucking YouTube to learn how to get across a river, and it won't always work.
Good stuff.
Huge. Fucking smooth brain shit. Anyway, Evil Genius 2.
Yeah. So this is out now. It's available. It's a download. Have you ever played Evil Genius, the original?
Yeah, I played Evil Genius. Yeah.
Right.
I was a big fan.
I had not. So
original management games, management sims. Right.
Yeah, like I
Dungeon Keeper.
Dungeon Keeper. Never played that either, but I know I understand the concept of it.
Sure.
I've played a bunch of like Theme Hospital, Theme Park, those types of management games, and this really, to me, seemed like it was going down that route, like building bases and having all these different types of rooms that allow you to research different types of things and just like keep building and building and building and unlocking more things as you go. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be. I don't think it is quite like Theme Hospital at all. It's more or less like two sort of separate. It feels like a board game to me, this game, in like a video game format where you're building up a base as an evil mastermind and creating minions and followers and guards and that sort of thing, and then deploying these like outposts around a world map. And when you do that, you then go and send out your minions on little missions, and that allows you to either gain money or gain more resources, or just all these different types of things that the game sort of rewards you with. And as you're doing that, you're creating like heat for your character, for your genius, which sends like agents after you, and they come and visit your base, and then they're trying to infiltrate it and disrupt your, the things you've got going on. I'm still pretty much in the tutorial phase at this point. I've played maybe, I think, like 2 hours at this point. And because I haven't played this style of game before. I'm still working my way through the tutorial stuff, like learning all the sort of behaviors of how this game works and all the different types of things you can build and how they interact with each other and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and I think where the sort of correlation between how I thought it was going to be more like a theme hospital, I guess because of the art style one and sort of the layout and how it looks, but yeah, it's not that at all. It's super, like it seems more like a sandbox game where you kind of just build a thing and you just keep on going and going and going. Whereas a game like Theme Hospital, Theme Park, you're sort of given objectives and
that's what you're missing.
yeah, and you're given like, hey, there's going to be this is your hospital, these are your sort of limitations, you're going to get these types of diseases, you're going to have these types of different obstacles that'll pop up along the way that you got to try and deal with, and then off you go. Like you're given objectives, and then you complete that, and then you go on the next level, and you start from scratch again, or you're taking a rundown hospital and then trying to build it up. Whereas this seemed more like you start from nothing, you build your way up, and you're sort of expanding as you go and getting further and further into the game. And I think like I guess Civilization or like Risk or something like that, where you just keep growing and growing and growing. And I think that's what this type of game is. Maybe it changes further down the line, but it doesn't seem like it's little contained story-based things. Because at this point, I'm just building and building and building, and my stuff is getting it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so yeah, I'm still like learning how everything interacts with each other at this point, and like I'm enjoying it. It's just not really scratching that itch. Like I was playing this and being like, man, I kind of just want to play Theme Hospital at this point and go back and play some of like they released some DLC for that recently.
Yeah.
But anyway, like it looks cool. It's got some interesting gameplay mechanics, but it's definitely not the game that I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Even when you compare it to like a Dungeon Keeper, where you're creating, I think maybe Dungeon Keeper is even more interactive in terms of like the things that will happen in your base. There's not really much going on at this point. I've had like 2 agents come, and that has been during a tutorial lesson. So I don't know how much more involved it kind of gets as you keep going. But at this point, I'm kind of just building things that the game is asking me to build, and working my way through a list of like things that you can do in the game, and it's getting to the point where a lot of that list is sort of revealing itself, and it's no longer hidden. And I'm like, this is it just doesn't seem too deep to me at this point. So I don't know.
Right.
Like, what's your sort of experience been with this game in the past?
Well, yeah, that's what's surprising to me, because maybe I didn't expect a lot of depth, but I'm surprised to. I thought it was. I was surprised to hear you say that you didn't feel it was enough Theme Hospital stylings, because it was basically to me Theme Hospital, but a evil genius lair type thing, like a supervillain's lair.
Yeah.
It's I get your criticism though. Like I do understand what you feel you're missing, because that isn't really there. It is sort of more a long-term campaign game, as opposed to those self-contained missions that Theme Hospital had. It is a bit more freeform.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to hear that you don't have a lot of impact on dispatching the secret agents that come.
Yeah.
Because it's always something I really relish the opportunity to do in the original. So if that has taken a bit of a backseat or is de-emphasized, then and sort of streamlined. I think streamlining that aspect of it is a mistake for the game, because that is probably that's probably the most interesting part. Otherwise, it turns into sort of a it created a complexity to your base management, right? It develops complexity in the way you manage or built your base, because it allowed, like, doing it certain ways, creative building allowed you to hamper the efforts of secret agents who came. Whereas if that's not really necessary, if it's been streamlined, then you can sort of just build your base however you like it, or you can maximize efficiency, right? You can maximize efficiency in your layers design without needing to make considerations for how you'll deal with agents, right? Yeah. And that was always a very interesting element of base design, was the trade-off between efficiency and stopping agents.
Well, I feel like I'm not even at that stage of the game telling me that part yet. I like, there's all these elements that that I can do, but it hasn't told me I should be doing stuff. Like, there's traps in the game, and you can like research the traps and I guess put them in your base. But like, again, I'm 2.5 hours in, and it hasn't told me to do any of this stuff yet. Like, I can research it, but it's not up to that point yet. And so I'm at the stage where I've just unlocked like valets, and it was like, all right, if an agent comes in, then you can escort them to an area of your base and deal with them there. And that's kind of just where I've gotten past. And like I said, that's 2 hours in. It just seems really slow at this point. So like, hopefully once I get past this, like the game teaching me how to play, like it's doing a pretty decent job of telling me like where I should be putting things and how these things connect with each other. It just seems to be going on and on and on and on, and I don't know when the game actually starts. Like, it still feels like it's teaching me stuff, and I'm like, I've been doing this for a long time. Like, I've got a lot of this stuff built, and I'm running out of room, and it seems like I've nearly like unveiled all the stuff in my build bar. Like, when is things going to actually start happening? So I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, like, fingers crossed it does develop. As you get a bit further in, although it does feel like it's a management sim, right? Like, fucking 2 hours seems like plenty in terms of tutorializing.
All right. Anyway, that's Evil Genius 2. It's out now. You can check it out if you want to. All right, let's keep glowing review. Let's keep on moving here. We've got another game called It Takes Two. This is the latest from Hazelight, the creators of Brothers and A Way Out. They did Brothers, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they were Hazelight when they did Brothers, but it was the same team.
Right. That's when Joseph Fares was at Starbreeze. Starbreeze did Brothers. Anyway, this is Joseph's company, and he has done a bunch of like cooperative 2-player games in the past, which we've talked about here on the show. This is his latest game, and it's reviewed really well. It's currently like a 90 on Metacritic, or 89, really high. So I got a copy of this and have been playing a bunch of it with my wife. The basic premise of it is that
probably
what
my wife.
Yeah. The basic premise of it is that you are playing. There's a married couple who has a child, and they inform this young girl that their parents will be getting divorced, and she ends up getting a bit upset about it, and she's got these 2 dolls that are made after her parents, and she ends up crying. The tears drop on the dolls, and the parents wake up, and they have been encapsulated. They are now the dolls. And they're in this world where everything is big, sort of like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of thing, where your character is very small, and you're running around and completing objectives and going from different areas in the game as a cooperative. I think it's a split screen game, at least on local. I don't know how it sort of behaves on online,
Sure.
but you can it plays pretty well in a local couch co-op setting. They're doing some interesting things with sort of like the way this game is delivered. You can buy it, and it's not a fully priced game. I think it's like 30 US, 35 US, and you're able to give a free game code to a friend, and then they can also play with you because it's a co-op game. That's the way that you play it. And each character has different abilities or different ways that they can interact with the environment. So for instance, like we just got up to a level where my character Cody has a bunch of nails, and he is able to throw them into objects like on the wall, and the other character May can use a hammer to swing on the nails, and so you're using these abilities to navigate the environment as two characters, and trying to get around like certain places and complete objectives. And it's a puzzle game, platforming puzzle game at the end of the day. It looks really neat. It's got this like cartoonish sort of like a CG cartoonish vibe to it, but it looks really cool. It plays like it runs really well. Haven't had any issues. It's a little bit challenging at certain parts. Like it's the type of game where if you've got somebody that's not too familiar with controller based games, they might struggle in certain sections, because it is very like you got to be quick in certain parts. You got to really sit down and like nail certain sections. The good parts about it is that the way the boss fights work, there is not necessarily there's no lives in the game per se. So if somebody does die during a boss fight, they respawn pretty quickly. But and then the game keeps going on. But if the other person happens to die while the other person is already dead, then that's when the game will revert back to a checkpoint and start again. Yep. So you can sort of keep alternating. One person dies and they revive, the other person can die. Like it just keeps on going. Or if you've got somebody that's a bit more proficient at games, they can sort of just run around and keep surviving and keep on going while the other person is just trying to do as best they can.
Yeah, sort of like when we play Warzone together.
Yeah, right? And I've got to revive you all the time.
You can't live through anything, and I'm going to buy you back in. Gold. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. I've heard it's got a really cool like art style to it. Like I said, it's this cartoony but like almost like Pixar looking game. It looks really neat in terms of like its storytelling. It does some cool like side swipes and things like that as you're as it's transitioning between like gameplay and cutscenes, and it just looks really awesome. Some of the puzzles are really cool and fun, which is awesome. It's just I think it's a pretty fun game, to be honest. I don't know like how like it feels like the type of game you want to play with maybe your partner or someone like that, or like a loved one, because it does seem to be dealing with those sorts of themes in the game itself. Like I don't know where it goes at the end, but it's definitely not like it doesn't feel like it's a kids game. Like it's got this kids aesthetic to it, but it's got themes that it's sort of looking into that are not something that you'd think kids would be interested in. So
yeah.
I'm enjoying it for the most part. Like, it seems like my wife's having a lot of good fun with it. She's digging it. I've heard people comparing it to like the best puzzle game since Portal, like co-op puzzle game since Portal, or Portal 2. And yeah, it seems to be doing some really cool stuff. Like, I'm keen to keep playing it, and it seems like it's a solid game, which is different. Like, he can keep his, what is it, $1,000 he was gloating about, if people weren't having fun with it. So there you go. That's called It Takes Two. It's out.
I was going to check it out.
Everything. Yeah,
but I only have one Xbox Series X controller and I only have one PlayStation 5 controller, so I wasn't sure what the fuck I was going to play it on because
I'm playing on PC.
Well, then I've got to sit here with my wife playing on PC. It's just weird.
Yeah,
it just strikes me as odd. So I couldn't work out how I was going to play it. So I'm like, fine.
Yeah,
I do still want to play it because, yeah, I had a lot of fun laughing at A Way Out. Not laughing with A Way Out, laughing at A Way Out. But it did have some elements in it that were pretty fun. Some good co-op moments. Mostly just fucking. I played that with Nate, and we just fucked with each other the entire time. The amount of times it was like some extremely serious, emotional scene, and you're like, it was a quick time event, and you both had to like press A to reach out and grab each other, and one of us just wouldn't fucking reach out and let the other one fall. Hilarious comedy gold. So
yeah, there's like a bunch of mini games in there as well that you sort of come across as you're playing, and they're good fun when I'm just destroying my wife at them, and she's clearly just like, let's keep going, let's not do this anymore. Anyway, I think it's really cool. We'll see sort of how much that continues to hold up, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. You're doing things like one person is like holding the end of a vacuum cleaner while the other person gets like sucked into it and shot out and like thrown across the room and has to like figure out how to get the other person to where they are, and like hitting triggers. And yeah, it starts some really interesting, neat puzzle stuff that I think is a lot of fun. I haven't really played a game like that in a while, so it's cool. I like it. So that's It Takes Two. It's out now, and like I said, you can grab it on for half the price of a normal game and give it to a friend, play together. There you go. What's next?
Nice.
Rocket League Sideswipe, the mobile. Is it a mobile game? I think it is, right?
Ow, fuck. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I just kicked something. I could see in Audacity that I just made a bunch of noise. Now I kicked my fan. My only fan. Anyway, yeah, Sideswipe, or Pocket League, as it should have been called, but wasn't for some reason, is or was technical alpha that was available on the Australian New Zealand Android platform for about a week. I jumped in and played it. I managed to get myself to gold rank in the solo experience, which isn't all that high, but it took some fucking doing, I'll tell you what. And yeah, I had a bunch of fun with it. I do not think that it will be anywhere near as popular as Rocket League because I've said this a bunch of times, but the power of Rocket League is that it is anyone can, provided you can manage to drive a car. If you can actually I've
seen you driving cars in games.
That's
a bad statement to make.
Get the fuck out of here.
How many cars did you get stuck the other day? How many trucks?
Just one.
More than five. More than five.
Just one truck. Okay. And some of the driving I did before that point went unnoticed, despite it being glorious. Okay. Anyway, it's not my fault that the driving in Hell Let Loose is only outdone by the swimming in terms of being awful. So yeah, provided you can drive in a video game, you can play Rocket League, basically, because all you need to do is crash your car into the giant fucking ball, and you have the basics, right? Like it relies on two near universal concepts: the universal concept of driving and the universal concept of soccer. And so because it's capable of like tapping into those universal constants, the skill floor for Rocket League is extremely low. That isn't the case in Sideswipe. Sideswipe feels like a game for people who are into Rocket League instead of a game for anyone that happens to have a real low skill floor and a very high skill ceiling. Sideswipe is a game with a pretty high skill floor right from the get-go, and as a result, I worry that it's too complex to really capture a lot of people's attention. I do think that it provides ample opportunity for good, like high quality play, but it's more like a fighting game than it is like Rocket League. I was saying this on Twitter, but it feels like a game where, like, one of those combo heavy or juggle heavy fighting games, right? So it's Sideswipe is played on a 2D plane, and you got your two cars, one on either side, and all you're doing is going left to right. Right to left, actually. Right to left, trying to knock the ball into the goal, Rocket League style. The goal in this case is raised off the ground a little bit, so you've got to get some elevation. You can't just sort of drive it in, and it will. There's a flat lip on the edge of the goal that will take it straight up. It won't like curl itself naturally into the goal. So you do need to actually put the ball in the goal, and so you wind up in these situations where a lot of the game relies very heavily on players being able to control the ball enough, put it into the goal, while also outdoing their opponent.
Yeah.
And because of that, what you're really doing is waiting for an opportunity to exploit a mistake for your opponent. And that is what it feels like most of the time. It feels like most of the time, all you're really doing is exploiting your opponent's mistakes for massive gain, because, a goal is all you need to win. And so you're exploiting those mistakes, and then you are waiting out time. Because the game area, you can watch, if you're interested in seeing it in action, I put up some footage on my YouTube channel. I didn't put any sound in it, and I didn't realize it was recording my mic. So it's a bit weird. But
it reminds me of like if you had an air hockey table and you turned it on its side.
Yeah.
But with air hockey, so you've got the puck that can move around, which is the ball, and you've got the two goals. The only difference is the paddles, I guess you call them. I'm not really sure, but if the paddles could go anywhere on the air hockey table, then that's kind of what Rocket League Sideswipers is, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah, it is like an air hockey, and it's a good comparison to Rocket League. If Rocket League is soccer, or if Rocket League was hockey, then Sideswipe would be air hockey to Rocket League's hockey.
Yeah,
I think there is a depth in Rocket League that is missing from Sideswipe, and that's not to say that there isn't depth in Sideswipe, because there's depth in air hockey. It's just not the same amount of depth that there is in real hockey or real Rocket League. But yeah, you get to this point. You get to a point where, like, you're able to score in seconds, but rounds take 2 minutes, and so you wind up in this situation where you are literally just waiting out this time, right? And you got to make a decision between actively attempting to score like on my efforts to get to gold rank, and gold rank required, I think it was three wins at each ranking. So it was I went bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze through like 1 through 5, and then silver 1 through 5. And then when I was right on the cusp of gold 1, I went on a big losing streak and got myself all the way back down to silver 2. And then I won my way back up to gold 1. But each of those requires 3 wins. And so I must have played, I don't know, dozens of games, like 15 per rank at least. And so you wind up in this situation where by the time I was trying to get into gold 1, what I would do is I would get a lead of 2 goals, and then I would just guard that lead, because it's a game where the space, the size of the field is such that you can boost from one side to the other, and it will use all of your boost. So if you overcommit, if you go to the other side of if you go into their goal area and you don't have the ball with you, and they are pushing the ball towards your goal, you have to turn around and use all of your boost to maybe get there in time. So what you're way better off just sitting there blocking and waiting for them to make a mistake, and then pushing the ball in their direction and fainting towards a boost to force them to use their boost, because you're not trying to score, right? Because you could score in fucking 3 seconds flat, right? Less than 5 seconds, you can have a goal, and like no time has passed. The real thing you're trying to do once you have a lead in Sideswipe is kill time. Is literally park the fucking bus and wait them out. And so you will belt the ball down their end, feint as if you're going in their direction, and then watch them use their boost. And that is boost that they can't use to bring the ball back up. And then you wait for them to come back your direction. And it just isn't like there's interesting play there, but it's not the exciting Rocket League play that I've come to understand. It's not, what I watch people do when I watch Rocket League or anything like that. It's a different kind of game, and I think it's quite divorced from the concept of Rocket League.
Right.
I think it's good fun. I've got a Razer Kishi, which my wife uses to play Stardew Valley on her phone.
So you've been cheating.
And it works in Rocket League Sideswipe, and it is heinous how much more control you have than trying to fat finger your fucking phone screen, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah, that's something. But yeah, I was using that. If they didn't want you to use it, then they would just block the use of it. Call of Duty Mobile blocks the use of it.
Oh, really?
Lots of games block the use of it. Yeah, it's not that hard to do. So evidently, it is sanctioned by the fucking. It's Epic Games. It's not like there's some fucking tiny fucking game company. Yeah. So I got no shame about using the Kishi.
Right.
And yeah, I got to goal 1, and then I stopped playing, and the beta was over the next day. Oh, the alpha was over the next day. But yeah, I would keep an eye on it. If you're a Rocket League fan, I'd keep an eye on it, because it is fun, but it is important to understand that it is not Rocket League. In my opinion, it's not the same Rocket League experience. But yeah, I think it will probably result in some pretty interesting gameplay footage. I like some of the high level battles I had against people. Like when I was at the cusp of gold. It's obviously not high. It's not like we're in master tier or some shit. But like, I was playing like fucking sweating my tits off, doing shit that, like, you're specifically rotating your car to because there's a good amount of physics in the game. Like, it's got a really good base of physics, and so if you turn your car, you can smack the ball in certain directions and stuff, like you would in Rocket League. But it leads to like very interesting techniques and stuff. Like, you push the ball down there and it goes up the thing, and all you need to do is like stop, and you can sort of like backflip your way into knocking the ball in very easily if they're not nearby. And so you wind up with these situations where like they would scoot the ball down my end and I would be like right behind it. And instead of just letting it go up and trying to block it, I would follow it all the way up. And then when I was in the goal area, I would like tilt my car so that it was underneath it and then scoop it out of the goal, as opposed to if you just knock it straight up, it can sort of go anywhere. It's a bit of a 50-50 chance and it might wind up bouncing off your car into the goal. But if you scoop it, you can knock it out of the fucking goal and then actually get some shit done. You can then follow it with your boost afterwards. And yeah, there's some interesting technique in there that winds up feeling really satisfying to pull off. And so, yeah, I think there's probably a lot of room for it to grow in that direction, but it will not, I don't think, find the same I don't know, audience that Rocket League has, because yeah, literally anyone can pick up and play Rocket League.
Yeah. I don't think they're going for that same audience though. Like, it's a mobile game. This thing will probably push more copies than Rocket League at the end of the day on consoles. Maybe. Like, it's the amount of, like, if you go click on a game these days and see how many downloads it's got, it's fucking stupid. Some of the numbers you see floating around.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this thing will make a ton of money. It's because it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appears to be. I don't know. It was free to download when I got it. So
awesome. All right.
Yep.
So that is Rocket League Sideswipe. It looks like it's out on mobile devices.
I don't think it's. Well, I don't think it is.
Is it? How'd you get it?
They had a technical alpha.
Oh,
okay. Australia. And the alpha ended.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Because when I click on it, there's no page. It doesn't load.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. You can't play it then. Get fucked.
Get fucked.
Yahoo! All right. Monster Train is up next. Brand new DLC came out for this called The Last Divinity. Monster Train is a game we talked about a lot on here. I believe it was in our both of our top fives of last year. It is a card-based game where you are on a train in the depths of hell, and the train itself has 3 levels to it, and then at the very top, the 4th level is a pyre that the enemies of heaven are trying to extinguish, and your job as the enemy, or they're not enemies, I guess the monsters of hell, is to try and stop the enemies from heaven in extinguishing that pyre. And so you go from level to level, accumulating more cards and more abilities and different ways to deal with your foes, in order to get to the very last level, which is like 8 or 9 levels in, and then eventually you win. And there's various ways of I guess progressing through the game by using different champions. I think there are quite a handful since we first talked about it. At least they've basically doubled them at this point, and so each faction has 2 champions that you can jump in there and use. And we've been pretty fond of this game. So this latest update that just came out adds a brand new clan to the game with a new champion that you can play with. Have you had a chance to check this out at all?
Yeah, I played through, got the new clan to level 5.
Right.
So I could unlock the second champion.
Yep.
Because you can't unlock the second champion until you get there.
Right.
I didn't read anything about it. I just thought I'd fucking work it out while have you played it much?
Yeah, I played a couple of rounds. I kind of did the same thing you did. Didn't read about it. Jumped in there and was like, "Oh my gosh, this seems complicated."
And I didn't even know about this shards shit. There's a new boss that you need 100 shards across, like when you beat Seraph, the last boss.
Yeah, it's like a secret boss.
Yeah, secret boss. I didn't even fucking know about this shit. God damn it.
Well, so it's it's like a brand new mechanic. It basically, we've talked about a bunch of games recently that have like curses in them, which means that you get something positive, but in the long run, generally there's something negative that will come to effect of you getting that positive thing. And Monster Train takes that into account now. These shard systems where you can spend resources or spend gold or merge cards to each other. That's also another mechanic. But you can do this and you gain shards, and every sort of there's like different tiers in this shard system. And as you do that, it actually levels up the enemies, so they get stronger and stronger as well. So not only are you getting more powerful, but there's this trade-off of you're getting something cool, but also they're getting harder and harder to beat. So that's just brand new across the board. That's got nothing to do with this new clan. So, yeah, I basically, the very first game that I played, I got to 100 shards. I beat the boss, got to the next one, and got wiped. Like, I got destroyed.
Yeah, right. I didn't even see this shard shit at all. Or if I've seen it, I haven't noticed it. So, yeah, I hope that what that does is illustrate how fucking overwhelming this new clan is, because it adds so much fucking shit. There's so much added with the Wormkin clan. Just the new dude alone, he adds these echoes things that you use to do like all manner of fucking stuff. Like there's now a new so you already had basically two currencies that you had to manage when you were deploying on the train. There was your mana or whatever the fuck it is, and there was the space on
each
floor.
level.
Yeah. And now you've got another one if you're playing as this guy, which is the echoes, and the echoes do all kinds of shit. You can use them to, like, the champion for them. He can use them to do sort of persistent damage. That like every time someone comes into the level and he casts anything, he does damage to them.
You can like buff other players like cards.
Yeah, to buff your monsters or your cards. You can spend them, like they can be auto spent by these egg characters to hatch into other things, and like all this kind of shit is happening. There's another new like, I don't know, ability in the mix where anytime a card is consumed on the same level, like it gets a massive like a monster gets a massive buff.
Yep.
Like there's just fucking, there's a load of shit.
It's complicated.
Like right off the bat, you just fucking, yeah. Like the ability for you to gain these echoes, it hinges on your card having this purple outline.
Infused.
Yeah, it has to be infused, which is another fucking new thing. But like that actually dramatically changes. Like it's a deck building game. And there are situations where you will take cards that you might not have before solely because it's infused. And I think that's huge, man. Like the amount of, I don't know, it honestly feels like too much. It feels like they've added too much in one go. They should have dribbled this shit out a little bit, because it feels like suddenly there is a lot to consider all in one fucking play session, one run through the fucking depths of hell. Yeah, and you're just like, oh my god. Okay, well, the other thing is at like the lowest level when you haven't done any of the revenant levels or whatever the fuck they're called. When you haven't done any of that shit, like you can still win. Like I haven't lost a run as the Wormkin yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a run yesterday where I was going through, and obviously I haven't been doing this shard shit, so I'm sure I would be losing against the final boss. But yeah, I'm lost against Seraph. And I'm running through, and I had one run where I like picked this card, and I then doubled it because I'm like, oh yeah, this card I think is gonna be fucking awesome. And I doubled it, and then I got like 2 more rounds in, and I had not successfully deployed this card in any manner. And it was basically just taking up card draw space. I'm like, fuck. So I had to, I wasted a double on a card that I then, at the next opportunity, deleted. I yeeted it into the pit. Like, that should be everything. That should be game over, basically. Like, if you've experimented with a card, found out it's useless, yeah, nah, you're done, mate. But, like, the rest of my strategy was sound enough that I could get away with it. And actually getting rid of those cards provided me with more than enough opportunity to just survive long enough. I do think the Monster Train still has a bit of a heavy hitter problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do wind up in these situations where I had a I think it was Wormkin plus the green guys, the Awoken or whatever they are. No, Awoken? I don't know, the green guys. And I had that one Awoken card that does sweep. And I had him behind my champion who buffed anyone on his level plus 15 for every echo that was in the level. And so all I needed to do was load up the bottom level on echoes, keep that one dude alive, keep my front dude alive, and I would have like plus 15 across 7 echoes. So my dude at the back had like 7 times 15, which is 105 plus 105. Plus the trick was I'd give him multi-strike 3 times. So he was doing that 4 fucking times, sweeping. And the only thing I really had to worry about was if anyone had spikes. Because if anyone had spikes, he was definitely going to fucking die. But that didn't happen. And fucking Seraph was dead the first level he came into, first time he came in a level, because every other time he'd been copping fucking 400 fucking damage anytime he came down to the fucking bottom level. He was dead on the first hit. Like, I think he came down to the bottom level twice, and that was it. That was all I had to do. Like, everyone was fucking dead constantly. And yeah, you just wind up in this situation where, yeah, if you can buff and keep alive like 2 monsters, you can win everything. And I suppose, based on what I just read about the new secret boss, I suppose that isn't a viable strategy. But yeah, they added some other stuff that definitely allowed me to get away with some stuff. They added one where they added a relic. I think they're called relics. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Artifact. I don't know.
Artifacts.
Where instead of taking damage, you take 25. You lose 25 gold. Did you see that one? That it should be far more expensive. 25 gold is fucking nothing. It is meaningless. It's not worth any points at the end of a run. Like, it's literally worth the amount of, it's 1-to-1 on points, so it's not worth fucking anything. Because a percentage point of damage is worth way more than 25 points. So yeah, that's way too powerful. It's ridiculous. So I went in. I had like that round where I had to delete some dudes. Like I doubled and then had to delete them. I still got through that one because they actually got to the final. They got to my pyre, but I had like 600 gold left. So every attack they did, it didn't fucking matter because I had this fucking relic and they couldn't do any fucking damage to me. Ludicrous. Yeah, it should scale or something. The like scale with every tier through the train you get through or some shit. Like at tier 1, it's 25 gold. At tier 2, it's 75 gold. At tier 3, it's 150 or some shit. Because otherwise, if you've got enough gold, you can just sit there and tank damage on your pyre for fucking ever. And I don't think that's how the game's supposed to work.
Right.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's also got this like merging mechanic in there as well now, where you can spend. It's part of that shard system where you can like merge other cards into cards that you've got as well. So you sort of like get rid of a card, but it will buff another card in another way. So that's kind of an interesting way of taking elements of some cards and giving them to another card that normally doesn't have it as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with that, but I've done that a couple of times with like train wardens, like stuff that I just am not really needing anymore, and just being like, oh, I'll just get rid of that. Like I'll give this other thing an extra damage boost and some more health and see what happens. So like that stuff is sort of interesting. The weight of whether or not you like take on this buff or you kind of leave it depending on how far into the game you are. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. It's definitely, like you said, a bit overwhelming. There's a lot going on. It took me a couple of goes to sort of understand like how these cards behave and how you should be playing. I haven't unlocked the second champion yet, so maybe I need to keep playing with that one. But yeah, it seems like a cool update. There's definitely a lot going on there.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check out this shard shit, but otherwise, yeah. I'm very pleased with what they've done.
Awesome. All right, that's Monster Train. You can check it out. It's extremely good. And the last game we have here is Satisfactory. We spoke about this at length about 6 months ago. It is a building game where you build factories, and I would say that it's like a I don't know, like a clicker game. It's basically a clicker game in first person, except rather than you clicking on the screen, you're building giant factories and outputting resources and exploring, looking for different things to build and creating these enormous factory production lines. About 7 months ago, when I played it, I said it was very good. And then you said you would never play a game like this. It looks stupid. And then the next week, you'd played like 20 hours, 25 plus hours of it. We spent a whole weekend playing. You were pretty much in. We played a bit more over the week or two, and haven't really touched it since then. It's in early access, so they're still updating every once in a while. And they're currently working on update 4, which is due to be released in about 2 weeks from now. But they're testing it on the experimental branch. And as far as I'm aware, that we looked, the save system uses the experimental branch is the same as the save system in the early access branch, and you can switch saves back and forth, so there's no real issue there. And so I was actually going to wait until it went into the early access build, but I mean, if it's the same game-based save file, then I thought, oh, might as well just play it now. So yeah, I jumped in over the weekend, played a bunch of it. They've added some pretty interesting new mechanics into the game. Drones is, I guess, one of the big new changes. So that's a way to transport some of your resources around. They've added in a stack of different types of buildings into the game, new types of resources. They've worked on a lot of the UI elements, the sort of way that information is presented to you, some quality of life stuff, so like being able to access build schematics really quickly by just holding down a button now, which I've used quite a lot. Like if I want to change from a level 3 conveyor belt to a level 2, then it's just like a really easy radial wheel now, which is really cool. The information that's sort of presented to you on the screen is a bit cleaner. The game seems to run better in terms of frame rate. Like they've done a lot of work in because there is shit on the screen. There is stuff going on all over the place. There's conveyor belts running everywhere. On the conveyor belts, there's like hundreds and hundreds of different types of resources moving around. They've done some work on how that is displayed to you. Like they've somehow made it less resource intensive and also a bit less buggy, I guess. Because I remember we were playing a couple months back. You'd look at like a conveyor belt and there'd be like nothing on it, but like there's still stuff there, or it'd be like really choppy and like disappearing in and out of your screen. Haven't had any of those sort of issues anymore, like weird pop-up things. So they've worked on a lot of that sort of stuff. A lot of new items in the game. They've added in like lighting fixtures and staircases and some, not necessarily stuff that is things that you build for the sake of like getting from a higher tier in the game. It's more like environmental stuff, but still like basically giving you more control over how your sort of factories look, which is cool. Anyway, so that was the weekend. I spent 30 hours playing, it looks like, over the last couple of days. You jumped in, a bunch of other people jumped in, and it was Satisfactory. That game's really good.
Yes, it is.
That game is really good.
It's just a very compelling experience. It was quite buggy for me, but nevertheless, it was a lot of fun. Dear listener, I want to tell you how I looped the Luke, because I've had quite the time doing utterly nonsensical things in a deliberate effort to make Luke wonder aloud what the fuck I was doing, because you can hear it in his voice. It's the same thing I can hear in my own voice whenever Luke does the exact same shit to me.
Yeah.
When he fucking alters the background of my desktop to include fucking Gary Busey or some shit, right? That's it. I hear it. I hear it in his voice. So I created a tower of storage units, and then I set up a new factory just above the other factory, just to see what would happen. And I made it make rods. And I made it make rods because I knew that we didn't need all that many rods. We did need rods to some extent, and that gave me the plausible deniability I required, so that when Luke would be like, "What the fuck is going on with this rod factory?" I could be like, "What? We need rods, Luke. What? You know we need rods, man. What? I don't understand. We need rods." And he would be like, "Oh, yeah, I guess we do need rods." But then you'd look inside the fucking thing, and we would have 40,000 fucking rods. We didn't need 40,000 rods. I created way too many rods. It's a
we're turning them into screws now, so
yeah, they did create something out of my rod situation. I don't know if you noticed, Luke, but I've got it going again with quartz. I'm making way too much silica. Way too much. And actually, that one started out pretty benevolent. in that I needed a platform. I needed something to put a power line on, because they added the grappling hook. So now you can grapple on power lines. If you're out adventuring, see, I don't build in this game. I do not build shit unless I need to.
No, I think all you do is build shit. That is your primary thing that you do.
Yeah, kind of. I build to facilitate my ability to go exploring. And that is basically all I'm doing, is going exploring. But I've been exploring, and when you put down a power line, you can put another power line down in front of you at quite some distance, and you can put it up on ledges. And provided it's not too steep, you can just sort of use the grappling hook to just grapple your way up on the power line, which like specifically circumvents a significant amount of the platforming of the game. Like, you just sort of, instead of like jumping from one rock to another and et cetera, nah, you just like grapple hook, or no, zip line, not grapple, zip line. Anyway, I needed a platform to zip line my way up, because there was a purple slug where I was, and I've been acquiring a lot of slugs. Slugs allow you to like overclock your production, which is extremely handy. So I fucking nailed it. I was like fucking scooting up, but when I got up there, I needed a way down, because there is you maintain momentum when you're ziplining down. And so if it's a straight line down, it's basically like falling from a great height. Like, you can sort of get away with it if you jump off the end of it, but the way the game was working, I was pretty sure what was going to happen was I was going to fucking power dive into the fucking floor. It's a little bit buggy, and there's sometimes when it auto saves, like none of your inputs register, and even if you're not doing anything dangerous, you'll still yeet yourself off a fucking cliff and stuff. So it's a bit challenging. So what I wanted to do was create a bit of a platform for myself to land on, so that it wouldn't be as steep a run down, and I might live through the experience even if I did miss the jump off. So I built 2 storage containers on top of one another, and then I put the power point on top of that, power pole on top of that, and then I went down. And then when I got down, I'm like, oh, I could get to the higher. There was another slug. Actually, the first slug I got was green. There's a purple one even higher up. I'm like, I could get to that one by just building a fucking tower of storage containers. So I built a tower of storage containers, and I just climbed the ladder all the way up. And then I did the power pole across the purple slug. Got the purple slug, came back down, and I'm like, I'm not going to fucking dismantle these. Built some fucking miners, and now I've got like a big production line of silica. We don't have any use for silica.
Not yet.
But you will have about 800,000 silica by the time you do need it. So, yeah. Useful, very useful. So yeah, no, having a lot of fun exploring. The thing I was doing when we battled last night was I'd found a giant bunch of iron, and I was building a new base to make iron.
More rods.
I don't know why. More rods. That was my plan. This is just going to be even more rods, but I'm going to have to pivot somehow to something different.
How'd you go with this is your first time setting up a transport line? You set up a truck. How'd you go with that?
That was pretty interesting. I do not think it is as efficient as it could be. I'm worried that it's because it's sort of, you build the truck. It's not a truck; it's a tractor. I don't know how we build a truck yet. I've got no idea.
We unlocked it. We just unlocked it.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, the tractor seems fine. It's like I said, not as efficient, but it works. And basically, you set up a truck station at one end and a truck station at another, and then you've got to like record your driving. But it doesn't appear to be any editing that recording. And so when I was driving, and I got to the end, and then I looped all the way back down, and I got like 3/4 of the way there, and I hit a rock, and then I spent like 20 seconds reversing out of that rock, and then like driving around the rock, but sort of hitting it on the way out, and like, now that's recorded for all eternity. And every time the truck does that path, it just does that. It's like hits the rock. And I tried to fix it by like platforming over, but no, that didn't work. And so it's fine. It's fine.
It does its job.
It does its job, right? We've got way too many reinforced beams.
We have so many, but they're good because they can be used for Mark IV conveyor belts.
Right. What do we use smart plates for? Because we got fucking,
I don't know,
3 containers full of them.
I don't know. We'll figure that out once we need something else.
We got no fucking motors, but we got 7 billion fucking smart plates.
Yeah.
And
I think we're working on that next. Once we get to like the spaceship, the space hub or whatever it is, and figuring out like what we need for that, because we're setting up some more production over in an area where we've just built like this giant platform over the edge of a cliff, which has like coal. It's got like copper there. It's got some iron. It's got a bit of everything. So we're gonna set up like some computers, maybe some AI chips and computer stuff over in that side. And then I guess we just got to see what we need and figure it out. Like I just started building some more refineries and I built a fuel generator as well last night, just before we logged off, and started playing around with that. Getting some more plastic going because we need plastic for computers. So we've got like 8 machines pumping out plastic at this stage. So I don't know, man. Like it's getting there. There's things going.
What about when I was like, oh yeah, all I need to unlock jetpacks is rubber. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get it. And then I come over to pick up the rubber like half an hour later. Not only had you not done it, but you said it. You're like, oh yeah, no, okay, now it's doing rubber. And I'm like, okay, fine. And off I go again. And then I come back another half an hour later. And so a full hour has passed. And I come back and it has not been making any rubber because you set it to the wrong fucking thing. I'm like, oh my God.
That's good. Yeah.
It was classic.
Oh, anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That's a great game. It's really good.
It is.
Do you feel like they're far off of a full release? Like,
I don't know what is left in the, like, is there a roadmap or something? Like, I'd love to see if there was a roadmap.
I think that I'm quite surprised we haven't seen like dedicated servers from them yet.
That would be phenomenal. That would make this.
We'd have to like buy a server then. That's the problem.
I would chip in. Honestly.
Yeah.
Roadmap. Here we
because
go.
The thing is, the game is just so big. Like the map is enormous. We're playing in areas that I've not been in before. Like some of the stuff I've seen, like the parts where we're building our oil refineries and that, like I've been to that place before because it's very close to the starting area that I was in last time. But otherwise, it's just such a huge world to explore.
Yeah, it is massive. I've been looking at some of them a couple of times and just like looking at areas in the distance. You know, the Skyrim thing. See that mountain?
Yeah, I'm going to climb that.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about the game is the amount of knowledge you sort of get as you keep playing, and the way to refine the production lines and getting like the maximum efficiency out of each thing. Yeah, it's really cool, like learning more and more about how to set up these lines. Like when I first played this game, I just had like, it was just ridiculous stuff everywhere. And then you start like decommissioning buildings and laying them out better. And then you start getting to a point where you've got like different levels and weird things happening with conveyor belts that the way you sort of split them off and merge them. Like you just start learning so much about how the game behaves and how these different systems interact with each other, and I get the most out of building certain things. Like the way we've got our power generators set up now is like really cool, and like figuring out the like pushing things to their limits. Like how much coal can we get out of this machine, and then how many power generators can we use that to power with that coal, and how much water do we need, and where do these pipes need to go, and how many like pumps do we need to put on these pipes, and like figuring out all that stuff out is kind of fun. Like looking at numbers, we got like I'm not using spreadsheets or anything, but I know Gerald is sometimes when he jumps in. He's got stupid spreadsheets that he uses.
It's actually, you got a Satisfactory calculator.
Really,
it's actually pretty useful. It's like I did it at the quartz mine because you can use it to calculate how many. I think he's using it to calculate like, oh, I want 5 computers a minute, so I need to set it out in this layout or some shit, layout or some shit. But at like for my one, I was basically just working out how I could get the mine working at 100% efficiency. Right. And so I'm not actually there because I didn't have the resources required to build that many fucking constructors. But yeah, like it's basically like you can have like, it'll just tell you 5 constructors working on this will like working off one quartz mine will be working the mine at 100% efficiency. And so I'm not using it for like fucking layouts or anything. It's basically just to tell me, to crunch, because like you can do that maths yourself pretty easily. It's not that big a deal, but yeah, it saves you a little bit of fucking calculator time is all.
Right.
Which I appreciate greatly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It's you should check it out. Check out Satisfactory calculator.
Yeah, I just bookmarked it. I'll go check it out later when we're finished.
Nice.
Anyway, that's Satisfactory. I'm keen to check out some of the stuff we haven't seen before, like the way drones work and new buildings.
We haven't even fucking done any drones or anything.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what that's like. All right, that's the games. That's all of them. A lot going on there.
I was looking, and it looks like update 5 will be nuts. They're doing update 5 before they get to 1.0, so at least update 5, probably more. And I believe the drones is update 5, right? Or is it update 4?
4.
Right. So it's a little way off 1.0 yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you're assuming the sort of path they're going on, it was like 7 months since update 3, so possibly early next year, maybe a year from now. If they spend a lot of time putting features in this next update and then a couple months bug fixing, you'd assume it's going to be early next year, would be my guess. And it's a perfect time to release a game like this. I don't think you release this game during like October, November, where people are busy playing a lot of stuff. So it's like the perfect February game. It feels like it'd get a lot of eyeballs. So, all right, that's Satisfactory. Update 4 is coming out in the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, you can play it now in experimental branch. And from what I understand, from what I've tried as well, the save games do convert across. So that'll be handy. All right, let's do some news.
Let's do it.
Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie, which Sony is working on, but it has a director attached to it, which is the director behind the John Wick series, Chad Stahelski. Does this pique your interest at all?
Yeah.
More or less. Like when you hear a director that is working on this, that is behind the John Wick series, is that more interesting? Like to you, would a Ghost of Tsushima movie be interesting?
I would watch a Ghost of Tsushima movie, regardless, because samurai movies. But yeah, having fucking Chad Stahelski, whatever the fuck his name is, however you say it, makes me way more fucking excited because that dude's fucking on some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a fucking fantastic background in like
action
that I enjoy watching. So
yeah, and also cinematography, like the look of a film. Like Ghost of Tsushima is a game that has a very unique look to it. Like it's a very pretty game, and being able to encapsulate that would be really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you reckon they get to play?
Oof.
Like Tom Cruise or?
Yeah, Matt Damon. Or what was the other one? Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, one of those three. Oh my god. Would the whole thing be in Japanese though?
I mean, yeah, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Right?
I don't know.
I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it would have to be. Although that probably wouldn't sell, right?
No, it wouldn't. No. All right, let's move on here. Back for Blood has been pushed from June to October. This is the Total Rock developed game inspired by Left 4 Dead. Well, not even inspired by, spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, because it is made by the same team. We're looking forward to this. Have to wait a little bit longer. I'm okay with them pushing it back. Polish, that sort of thing.
I mean, like, yeah, whatever they need to do to make it work. I don't think we're in a, there's no particular rush for this game. I'd rather it was done well and done quickly. I mean, that's basically my opinion about every game, but yeah, like take the time, make sure they've got it right, and I think it'll be way better for it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got some Call of Duty news. This is Sledgehammer's upcoming Call of Duty, rumored to be called Vanguard. That is an internal name, but also potentially the final name of the game. Will be set in World War II, so they're going back. This has been... this was first posted by I think it was a website called Modern Warzone, and then was later verified by Eurogamer and a couple other websites as well. Yeah, and it'll see them going back to World War II. Is that, I mean, yeah, like how does this, like for me, it's, how does this bode for obviously what is Call of Duty's biggest thing right now, Warzone? Like what do you do now? Like I feel like Warzone's in this weird spot where they've had Black Ops come out. They've put all the weapons for Black Ops into that Warzone mode now. You've got the team from that studio sort of taking over as well. Like, is it gonna be this hand-me-down thing where like the new stuff comes into it and then it sort of all gets merged and muddled together? Or do you think like it needs to be a separate entity and just stop fucking around with it?
I think they have such a unique opportunity to divorce themselves from the annual release cycle and take a little bit of time, let fucking Cold War and Modern Warfare and Warzone all sort of continue to gestate and continue to fucking I mean, as far as I can tell, Warzone's still reaping in the fucking money. So like, I think they've got an opportunity here to just sort of sit back and let it fucking do work for them, and give it an opportunity to breathe before then ramming World War II weapons and stuff down our throats. I have very fond memories of Call of Duty 2, 1 and 2. And I do think that, the franchise is capable of some good World War II stuff. But wasn't Call of Duty World War II just the fucking couple of years ago? Like, it's pretty recent.
It was recent, yeah.
Or whatever. Like,
it was called Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah, like, why go back already? I don't understand.
There was some stuff that came out of this saying it could be an alternate history World War II. But I think then that was corrected in saying that is not entirely the case. So I guess we have to wait and see. Like, that could be in relation to like a zombies mode or something. It's too early at this point. This is all, I mean, sources talking about things behind closed doors. For me, I feel like they just needed to detract themselves, at least from Call of Duty, the main series, and whatever they're doing with Warzone. Like, you can't keep going backwards and forwards unless their plan. And I don't, like, at the end of the day, I don't know how this works, but if they're always talking about, we're going to nuke the island, right? We're going to nuke Verdansk. There's a possibility that happens in November, right? And then they transition to World War II or something like that. But the problem then becomes, again, the weapons and like the feel of the game, and people being used to these types of guns and weapons and the behavior of how this stuff works, and then chucking them back to rifles, like that sort of thing. Like, does that carry across at all? Man, I don't know. I don't know if it does. I think they just need to separate the two.
Yeah.
And just have them be different things.
Yeah, I agree.
There is another big branded game that could be going down the same route. It's called Battlefield. This comes from I think it was a Twitter source, Tom something. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head. Henderson. We're going with Tom Henderson.
I don't know.
I was right. It was Tom Henderson.
No.
Yep.
All right. Well done.
Saying that the next Battlefield will be called Battlefield. It will be basically a hub for Battlefield games where you can play all of them, and that will encapsulate the new Battlefield, which is, I guess, Battlefield 6. It'll be a future or like a present day setting within the next sort of decade. These have sort of been leaking out quite regularly. Like, they're obviously gearing up to an announcement for this, I would assume, in June. This stuff seems pretty solid because this person has leaked Battlefield stuff in the past. So anyway, is it a bad name? I feel like it's a bad name. At least if that's what they're calling it, what are they doing? Like, stop it.
What's wrong with Battlefield?
They literally had a game called Battlefield 1 like 4 years ago.
Sure. But they went to Battlefield 5.
Right. And now they're back to Battlefield.
So the names don't mean anything. Like, just...
all right, what's the next game called? Is it Battlefield 2? Or is it Battlefield 1? 2? Or is it Battlefield 7? Like, where do you go from here?
It's just folded into the Battlefield, this new Battlefield hub
fast,
thing.
Too Battlefield?
Too fast, too Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think it's, fine. I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is the rumor that you will be able to boot up servers playing exclusively 1942, or even have the option to play with the settings. So one team has 1942 weapons vehicles, and the other team has access to Battlefield 3 weapons vehicles. An example given was teams fighting Panzers versus M1 Abrams. This cannot happen. Okay, it's never going to fucking work. Maybe that's how they
balance the game.
How does that balance? How is any of that balanced? How does that work? That is fucking insane.
Yeah. There's some other details that sort of came out of this. We've heard the large scale fights. This is at least saying 128 players. They're talking about some sort of battle royale mode coming as well, but that will be later on. It won't be day and date with the release. And again, talking about like what Call of Duty is doing, like they need to do something better with their battle royale this time around. Like they had a good battle royale in Firestorm, and they screwed it by not supporting it, anything like that. So they need to, like, it needs to be a free to play game from the get go. Like I don't know how they're planning on doing it, but if it's not a free to play game, there's no point, in my opinion. Just stop trying to like have them be two things. Like splitting your community is just ridiculous. So I don't know, man. Like I'm excited to see what they're doing with Battlefield. I think there needs to be big changes in that game to get me excited, because as much as I've enjoyed the last couple, it's just like it's kind of feeling stale.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm excited for a new Battlefield, but yeah, it has been a lot of the same stuff over and over. Watching Nate went back to sort of stress test how his build is going, because he rebuilt his PC. Fucking that dude is insanely good at Battlefield. It is hideous. He's just got muscle memory for those weapons. It's ridiculous.
My biggest issue with watching that video was like, why is it taking so long for everyone to die? It's just like it takes too long.
Playing too much Hell Let Loose.
Or just like everything. Call of Duty, it just frustrates me. All right, we'll hear some more stuff about that hopefully soon. And moving on, CD Projekt Red is reconsidering Cyberpunk 2077's multiplayer. So this came out of it was like a project strategy meeting update with, I guess, investors and things like that. They've basically previously talked about the next thing they're working on in the Cyberpunk universe would be this AAA multiplayer game. But they have decided to shift focus and do something a bit different now. So whether or not that means that like this thing has been cancelled, or it's been most likely downscaled quite a lot, and they're shifting over to a Witcher game, which would be probably a better decision for them. That is probably where they're going with this. They talked about like having multiple teams now, the way they've restructured their teams, and how they'll kind of be working together on projects and stuff like that. Do you think it's a good idea for them to just jettison that multiplayer game?
Yeah, based on their experience so far in trying to get Cyberpunk into a state that is, even close to par. I do not think they have the manpower to create an entirely separate multiplayer game. Even understanding, as I do, that the people who are working on the multiplayer may not be the same people working on Cyberpunk. I would imagine that Cyberpunk 2077 should still be all hands on deck, in my opinion. I still don't think it's up to scratch. So, yeah.
So they released a like a 40 gig update this week. Is it patch 1.2? Big major patch. That is now. When did that game come out? In November. So it's been a while. It's been a couple of months now at this point. And I think that kind of just shows you how much more time they needed on this. I feel like they've got at least another maybe 3 to 6 months before they can get into an estate that that is working well, or at least not like buggy or anything like that. Like, did you see this? That post they put up, the patch notes, is enormous. It's massive, and this is coming from a company that put out like a statement, a video saying that like, oh, we didn't see these bugs when we were testing it. Like, we don't know where these came from. You absolutely knew this game was broken and decided to put it out anyway, and trying to cover up and all this sort of crap. We've talked about it a bunch. They've lost all their goodwill, I feel like, at this point. Should always be cautious about whatever they're trying to sell, because they've already lied. So there it is. Next up, we've got it's the last piece of news here. This is from this morning. Jeff Grubb reports that this is from where is he from? VentureBeat. Reports that there was a bidding war for Alan Wake 2, a game from Remedy, and Epic Games came out on top with the best deal. So what he was basically saying was that Epic got quite a bit of flack for doing all these exclusive deals on games that were already announced. Obviously, there's been a bit of backlash from them doing that. Things like Hitman and a bunch of games that basically made their way to the Epic Game Store and weren't available on other platforms. And so instead, they've started going out and securing these publishing deals on games which haven't been announced. And one of those big games is Alan Wake 2, which is, I guess, not a surprise. Like, this game was... I talked about it a couple months ago, at the end of last year, like, playing the Control DLC, the AWE Alan Wake DLC. It was obvious where they were going with the future of that studio, and an Alan Wake 2 was going to be on the cards. So hearing Jeff sort of back up that, like, yes, Alan Wake 2 is coming, is not surprising. But I guess what the more interesting thing will be is, like, what will that game look like? I don't... Like, they've always built upon their games, Remedy, and I think they got to a point where Control just does so much so well, giving you all these ridiculous powers and that sort of thing. Having you go back to a game that is a bit more slow paced and shining a flashlight to erode the darkness and that sort of stuff, really stripping back the gameplay elements, I think would be a step backwards. And so how do you, like, are you playing as a new character? Because there are hints of different types of characters in AWE. Maybe they end up with different abilities, or is it just is it a smaller game, or do they start blending these two worlds together and Alan Wake ends up with weird abilities as well? I don't know, man. But does that, like, we've sort of talked about this in the past, preferring to see an Alan Wake 2 or a Control 2. Maybe it's like a mixture of both. What do you think? Like, where do they go? Is this news exciting to you?
I mean, it's exciting in the sense that, I want this world to continue to grow. But yeah, I don't think you can go back gameplay wise. I think it does. I think what you said, a mixture is the only way that they can really do it. It has to be a mixture, because that gameplay of Alan Wake is just too old and stale, in my opinion. They've grown too much and done too much for it to take such a giant leap backwards now. And I think it would be unsatisfying if they did,
Right. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like there's probably a ways off until we hear about that. I mean, there's a possibility they come out and say they're working on it. But if it's got to be a couple of years at least, like 2 to 3 years before we see something from that, unless they've been working on it for a while now. Because you got to remember, Control was out in 2019. What year is it? Yeah, it's 2019 it came out. So there's possibility they've been going on this thing for a year and a half at this point. So another year and a half would put you in a good spot. So I don't know. We know they've got multiple teams there. They've got a bunch of teams working on some AAA stuff. Two of them, I guess, are with Epic at this point. This would be a different one. They've got that shooter that they've been working on. Anyway, that's exciting stuff. Hopefully we'll hear about that more soon. And that is the news. Any questions for this week that you know of?
No questions. No.
Oh, that's all right. We can get out of here then.
Let's do it.
All right. You can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, YouTube, all the places you get your podcasts from. Please rate and review the show if you have a moment. It helps other people find us. If you would like to send us questions, you can go to our Discord page, thegapodcast.com/Discord. You can jump in there, talk about all sorts of things that are going on, play some video games. There's a lot going down every night. I think there's people watching some Dota recently. Singapore Major. It's been going off.
And the PGIS.
Yeah, that finished.
We had a good group watching that. Was very helpful having Liam in there to explain to me what the fuck was going on, because every time
a terrible
tuned out and tuned back in, I was completely lost as to what was going on and what mattered and how it mattered. But at the end,
none of it mattered except for the last day.
It was basically
what a dumb format,
which is ludicrous. Like Gen G went into that last week with more money than everyone else, and they had a terrible week.
They come like seven.
Had a terrible finals, and it was basically all for naught. I think they still managed to come third off the back of everything they did, but still,
it's just a dumb format. It's so stupid.
It was a really dumb.
It's like having the playoffs for the NBA, and it's best of 7, but the first 6 games don't count. Only the last one.
Yeah.
Like the points you got during all those other games, you get like 20% of those points.
I mean, it's interesting that you bring up basketball, because how many fucking basketball games count, right? Like, how many regular season basketball games count?
None.
Not all of them.
Oh, some of them.
Not all of them.
No.
Right? Like,
but this wasn't regular basketball. This is every week was a playoff round.
But was it? You know, that's the thing, right? Like, if you rejig how you look at it, maybe if you look at it like the rest of that was just a season, maybe that was the problem. Maybe they should have formatted it like it was a seasonal play, and then but I think what they wanted was to have teams not feel like they were all the way out of contention. Maybe esports isn't necessarily ready for the broader concept of having teams play. How many fucking games do they play? Like fucking
a bunch.
Yeah, 30 a week. Like fucking loads of games a week. Like they were getting up towards, I would say they were probably close to 87 fucking games, right? Like having that many games and having them not matter, or having no way of being able to play your way in, and there's no incentive after a certain point. They want people to continue to try, because otherwise, you know, they would just be there probably hot shopping on popular teams or pursuing other goals and stuff like that. Like, they've got to find some way to work around that shit, but at the same time, it was a dumb fucking format. The way it was set out was fucking dumb, although an Aussie won it all. Tiggleton managed to walk away with it all, and as Liam pointed out on Twitter, Luke 12 and Tiggleton were the top-rated players of the entire tournament, which, hey, Australian PUBG.
Despite PUBG Corp trying to destroy.
Doing their best. Doing their best to kill the game in this country.
Yeah.
They can't stop the Aussies.
Well, not even like that, but like even in this country, the whole thing of like, you need teams set up and they need a certain amount of people from that region to be able to play. And you can't, like, oh my gosh. Anyway, you can find us on social media, facebook.com/GA podcast, twitter.com/GA podcast. You can find this podcast in video form, thegapodcast.com/YouTube. If you want to look for those links, you can go to our website, thegapodcast.com. There's older podcasts up there. There's some feature stuff Joab's been putting up. What'd you put up this week?
You can only call it a battle royale if it's from the Royale region of France, which is basically just a look into what I believe a battle royale requires to not be technically a last man standing mode, because they are different. It was, pretty tongue in cheek, but something I've been thinking about for a while. I know people don't like definitions, and they get upset with that sort of stuff, but I do think some of that stuff is important. Sometimes it is important to be able to definitively say this is a battle royale because of X.
Yeah.
And like I said last week, I didn't manage to get it up. I didn't manage to get it up last week. I was trying to do one video essay a week, but I think that format might be a little bit too challenging, what with also having actual work to do on the side and a burgeoning Satisfactory addiction. So yeah, I'll probably shift it out to once a fortnight as instead. It just gives me an opportunity. I produced went a little bit overboard in production for this video, so might be better off just pushing it out a little bit, doing one every 2 weeks. But yeah, I think it went well. I think it's a good video. Got some fun clips in there. That last clip, I don't think I ever shared it, but holy shit, what a fucking clutch from Nate in that fucking last clip. Insanity.
Awesome. Yeah. So you can go to thegapodcast.com and check that out. And also, if you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/gapodcast, become a recurring member. Help support the show, help support the website, keep things running. We greatly appreciate everyone's support that does that. Helps pay the bills. That is it. You got anything you'd like to pimp out for this week other than your video?
Yeah, go check out the video, and that is it. What about you, Luke? Oh, and hit me up on Twitter at JoJoJo.
Yeah, you can find me at Luke Lawrie, Lawrie, and I think that is it for this week. I guess next week we'll be back. Got some Outriders. I'm going to grab that, check it out. It's out now in Australia, and a couple of hours over here in the US. So I'm keen to play it. Had a lot of fun with the demo. Hopefully they've sorted out a bunch of the issues. Anything on your radar for next week?
We'll just play it on Xbox. Why don't we just play it on Xbox?
I don't have an Xbox. Remember, the whole point of not buying an Xbox was to play everything on PC. They fucked me by doing this Game Pass console thing.
They got you. They boomed you.
Okay. I've got an Xbox Pro thing sitting there. I don't even remember what it's called. I fired it up like 3 times. Xbox Series S? No.
S, yeah.
What's the old Xbox?
Oh. The
Xbox One.
One X. One X.
Yeah. Dumb naming conventions.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got one of them. I'm not playing it on that. I'm playing it
on
PC.
Can you play it on streaming?
I don't think so. Can you?
All right. I don't know.
Like the cloud?
Yeah.
What would I be able to play it on then?
Play it on your browser. They enabled that.
Really?
Right? To get around the iTunes shit.
I'll have to
investigate that.
I don't think they've done it though. That sounds like something they wouldn't do.
Right. Yeah. I reckon they have.
Anyway.
We'll find out.
We'll find
out this time next week.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. See you then.
Love you. Bye.